Biden roasting Trump. Let's hear it.
With a dramatic flourish, 3 presidents emerged. Democratic donors posted their images of
oh my
this
God, it's the
entrance
boys.
at a glitzy New York City fundraiser, needling a 4th president, Donald Trump, with a twist on the sensitive issue.
Dream blunt rotation. Don't even lie. Dream blunt rotation. Imagine getting high with Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, and Joe Biden. Just getting fucked up. And just a chill, private blunt rotation. Imagine the types of things you would get to hear. Imagine getting to be, like, the 4th person in that, like, 4-person circle. Legendary blunt rotation.
Of age. In this clip released by the Biden campaign.
I mean, all the things he's doing are so old. Speaking of old. And, you know, a little old and out of shape. But anyway.
Tapping into the political skills of Bill Clinton and Barack Obama to sell the Biden agenda. Democrats looking for a counterpoint to polling that shows voter frustrations with President Biden.
You've got record-breaking job growth. You've got an
But Obama's going to be on point here. Obama's going to be 100% on point here. As much as you may not like Obama and you might find this cringe or whatever, yes, it's Colbert, he's going to be on point here. All the data, like every bit of economic data in regards to like tracking the country's progress in regards to like recovery from Trump's presidency and COVID, it's been unprecedented growth and recovery. The problem is there's no magical switch Biden can flip overnight to overhaul and like reform the entire country and every broken system. But if you have genuinely followed the news and have kept up with the executive orders, bills, permits, etc. that Biden has passed, you'll be mind blown at how excessively progressive he has been. Biden ran on a campaign so much less progressive than his actual presidency has been. How many of you guys expected him to be as pro-union as he ended up being? He didn't run on being pro-union at all. He has been surprisingly left-wing at every turn, and yet despite that, at least among young left-wing voters, and especially among normies, there's been a lot of disapproval of him. Among normies, it's because he's old. Among young people, it's because of his handling of Israel-Palestine, and because those people will literally never be happy with how he handles it. Biden could literally resurrect every dead Palestinian child from the rubble, like Jesus Christ, and they would raise the bar higher to justify not just not voting for him, but shaming anyone who says they will.
With President Biden.
You've got record-breaking job growth. You've got an unemployment rate that is as low as it has been. For African Americans, by the way, the lowest on record ever.
Tickets started at $250, but donations soared as high as $500,000 for the star-studded night. The event raised $26 million. While outside, a large and loud protest over President Biden's policy on the Israel-Hamas war. Meanwhile,
it's so crazy, too. None of these people care about anything. Also, I'm going to hit you guys with the scalding hot take. A substantial amount of pro-Palestine advocates online are full-on anti-Semitic pro-Hamas people. Like much in line with Hassan. That exact protest had pro-Palestine protesters screaming the K slur at journalists and Democrats. Let me see if I can find the clip. I think maybe they yell it in this video, but this is the protesters outside the Biden fundraiser chanting, "Enjoy Trump winning." Because for them, Trump winning is a punishment that they want to instill on the Democrats. This TOS? I don't think they scream the slur here, but you're right. I probably shouldn't show that clip, too.
Enjoy Trump, because we're not voting for Biden ever. Enjoy Trump. We hope you love him. We'll be the same. We're not voting for Biden. Enjoy Trump, because we're never voting for Biden. Y'all pay for dead babies. Y'all pay for dead babies. What's wrong with you? How much money did you give Joe Biden? Not paying for dead babies. Enjoy Trump. We're never voting for Biden.
We're not paying for dead babies. Okay, thank you for telling the IRS you don't pay taxes. They will be on their way. A lot of older Jewish and Arabic voters are for Biden, older than 35 years old. This is literally all just a smokescreen that dumb fuck young people are making. The same thing happened in 2020. You had this massive push online from young Bernie bros saying that, like, Bernie had record-breaking POC support and that it was going to win him the primary. And then Bernie loses the primary because Biden was actually the one with the record-breaking POC support. And then they all said, we're not going to vote for Biden. Black people aren't going to vote for Biden. Brown people aren't going to vote for Biden. Biden is a white supremacist candidate. And then Biden won the election with record-breaking black and brown votes. It's all just LARP, okay? These are politically insignificant, never voted in their lives, whiny little LARPing dumb fuck internet lefties. This is the first time they've felt the outside air in months. But yeah, you have to remember that for these people that, like, don't see reason and don't care about, like, Biden's performance, like, this list of things that Barack Obama lists, which are 100% true and not just, like, lie Democrat propaganda or whatever. They're just verifiable. Google it if you're not too lazy. They will just say, whatever, I don't care. We're not going to support genocide. Do they think Trump won't do the genocide harder? Because Trump's campaign is promising to support Israel at every turn in their annihilation of Hamas, quote unquote. Biden has been the one spearheading the peace talks to create a ceasefire between the IDF and Hamas.
Voter frustrations with President Biden.
You've got record-breaking job growth. You've got an unemployment rate that is as low as it has been. For African Americans, by the way, the lowest on record ever.
Tickets started at $250, but donations soared as high as $500,000 for the star-studded night. The event
They had a lot of
raised
celebrities there.
$26 million.
Remember, the Republicans are losing money badly right now, too.
While outside, a large and loud protest over
This is the
President
protest I showed you
Biden's
the clip
policy
of.
on the Israel-Hamas war. Meanwhile, former President
Remember, by the way, these are people who say, enjoy Trump because we're not voting for Biden. These are people who, with saying that, are indicating that they either think or know they are not affected by a Trump presidency. So either A, they're not American, or B, they're so politically illiterate that to them, politics is nothing but the internet culture war. And what, like, their favorite lefty figure, these are all Hassan fans, you know, for a fact. Like, those young people, that guy, definitely a Hassan fan. These are the types of people who don't care about politics outside of virtue signaling how virtuous they are. They're just virtue signaling. This is the definition of virtue signaling. Not voting Biden to spite Democrats because Democrats are the less in support of Israel party compared to the Republicans, but you still aren't okay with that, does nothing. And saying that you don't care if what you do does nothing and makes no difference, many of them just admit that. And that indicates to me they're just not good people.
And Trump created his own contrast, joining mourners grieving NYPD officer Jonathan Diller, who was shot and killed, the suspect a repeat offender. Mr. Trump slamming President Biden for not directly reaching out to the Dillers.
They could have called. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know. Even a call would be perhaps, I'm not sure.
There's this really weird, like, thing in politics where there will be a person, there's like countless people killed every day, at least in America, and certainly all around the world. And the president is obviously not expected to comment on every murder or killing, even of a cop or of a child, that occurs in the country. It's usually, like, expected if there's, like, a big disaster, like a school bus drives off of a bridge and all the children on board die. Like, the president will make a statement on that. Besides that, the president isn't expected to make a statement on every tragedy that occurs unless it has some form of political something to it, right? So clearly the reason why Trump did this is he found like, oh, here's an opportunity. A random police officer was killed. Oh, and by a repeat offender? Perfect. Awesome. We can use this to make the case that the criminal justice system isn't harsh enough. And then from there, like, Trump's able to make this whole, like, I care about people thing. And then why isn't Biden here? The only reason anybody knows about this guy outside of his local community is because of Trump looking for something to cover that would make him look good. The same goes for, like, the Democrats do this too. This isn't just a Republican thing. It's just this really weird thing that happens in politics. So don't see this as a gotcha that Biden didn't speak on this. The president is not expected to speak on every tragedy. Trump is only speaking on this to make a political statement, which is, why isn't Biden speaking on this?
They take his call.
And new in the Georgia election interference case, Mr. Trump's lawyers are asking an appeals court to remove Fulton County DA Fani Willis and to dismiss the case. Tom?
Of course they are. Of course Trump is. That should not come as any surprise, frankly.